Today, I'm making X&O yarn decor to go on my mantle for Valentine's Day. Let's go. Hi everyone, it's Christine. Welcome back to my channel. Valentine's Day is just around the corner, and while I don't usually like to decorate too much in the house, I always love to do a beautiful mantle piece in our living room. This year, I thought of these cute and whimsical X's and O's that we're gonna make using styrofoam, wrap them in yarn, and put them on top of the mantle. It's super easy and inexpensive. Let me show you quickly the supplies that I'm gonna be using, and then I'm gonna make them with you. For starters, you're going to need to find a font that you like. You could do this using any word if you wanna write maybe the word love, or if you want your initials like C plus C, in our case, Chris plus Christine, whatever it is, you can do this with. So we just went on dafont.com. It's a free website that you can download like thousands upon thousands of fonts. And so I kind of wanted this jersey style font, mainly because I wanted the O to have a flat bottom, and so that it'll stand, because that's how these will look on the fireplace, all wrapped in yarn, standing up. So I'll link below the exact font that we used. If you want to use that, you can type in whatever word you want in the preview, so then you can scroll through all the fonts and get the exact one that you like. Then we just printed it as large as we could on our printer paper. This is just an 8.5 by 11 size. I actually may have wanted them a little bigger, but I decided I didn't want the hassle of having to go get it printed somewhere. You could totally do that if you wanted it bigger. You can go to places like Staples or whatnot to get the fonts enlarged. Next, how we're going to build this is we're actually going to use two little pieces of our construction styrofoam. If you remember from last year, I actually did a video where I made a styrofoam heart. I'll link that above here. This is actually just a large piece of construction styrofoam that I got at the hardware store. The whole piece I think was like $16 or $17, but I've been able to keep it to do multiple projects. This is a much cheaper option to buy a large sheet of styrofoam from the hardware store if you have room to store it in your home than to buy single pieces from the craft store. And then I got 3 different colors of yarn here. I got these at Michael's, and I used my 40% off coupon. Remember, you can always download one online if you don't have one before you go. I already have a couple of yarn pieces on my mantle for Valentine's Day, and so I just tried to match up with the different colors on there. Now, when we wrap this around the X and the O, you could do it multiple ways. You could do an ombre effect if you would like. You could do also just kind of a random effect, doing them, all different colors throughout. For me, I'm just gonna do solid because again, that's just kind of gonna mimic the other yarn pieces I already have on my mantle. And so I'm actually gonna make multiple of these to have 4 XOXO. I'm just gonna show you how to do 2 because you'll understand the process after. So let's get started. Obviously, the first thing you need to do is you need to print out the letters that you're going to be using. You're going to cut them out, and then you're going to cut out a piece of your styrofoam to, the approximate size, and then you're going to want to trace it. Once you have them traced out, it's going to be time to cut out the styrofoam. Now you want to make sure you have some kind of cutting board or a piece of scrap wood underneath to protect your table. And then you're just going to use an X-Acto knife. You probably could use scissors for some of it, but we want to try to get more of a clean line. So let's get cutting. right, now that you've cut these out, it is time to wrap. Don't worry about getting this all smooth. It'll smooth out as you wrap it. To start, you're going to add some glue to the back to get this secure. Now, we're gonna deal with the top and bottom at the end, so don't worry about that. For the X, you're gonna do one of the arms, then you're gonna do the other one. Go a little bit lower than the start of the V, and then we're gonna overlap. We're gonna come back and we'll overlap it and go through the whole V. So let me show you how we'll do it. So once you're done at the top, you're going to want to put a few through the smallest part vertically. This is because in the end, when you're gonna wrap over here, you just wanna make sure you have no blue spot showing. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. And then we're gonna actually repeat the same process on the bottom arms down here. And then we're gonna finish it by wrapping the middle section. In case I forgot to mention, which I don't think I did, I'll have to go back and check my footage. After each time you do it, you're just gonna put a bead of glue at the back and cut it, and that's just so it won't move. So now this is what the front of it looks like. We are going to go and do the final wrap, which is around this entire middle section. And we are done the main part of the X. I think it looks super cute. There's obviously a few different ways you could wrap it. This was the way I chose to do it. I love how the middle looks a bit more padded. Super cute. Now to finish off the tops and bottoms, you could do this with a few different things. You could add some fringe, some buttons, sequins, whatever you want. For the bottom, I've decided not to put any yarn on there to hopefully give it a little bit more stability when trying to stand it up. I'm obviously going to have to put something behind here, like some kind of stand to keep it from standing, because right now it is a little wobbly. For the top though, as you can see here, it's still exposed. And so all I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna fill it with some glue, and I'm just gonna zigzag my yarn back and forth just to give it a finished look. I don't plan on showcasing the top or the bottom, so I don't really care how, beautifully finished it looks, but I do want to, just make it look a little bit smoother than it looks right now. So let's do that. And there you have the X. How cute is that? I actually love the addition of that pom-pom trim. That was thanks to the hubster who found it actually in my supply toolbox. So now I'm gonna go and do the O. It's gonna be the same process. I'm going to use this kind of coral looking pink. And I'm just gonna do it off camera because this takes a long time to wrap. And then I'll come back and we'll just wrap it up on how cute and easy and fun this little Valentine's DIY is. And there you have it, friends, the completed yarn XOX. Like I said, I did the O and the second X off camera. It did take a little bit of time, especially the O, because you have to keep threading back through the middle piece. So what I did as a little tip is I would actually cut yarn into smaller sections, wrap it around my fingers, and then that's how I kept feeding it back through the middle of the O. But I absolutely love the way that these turned out. I did finish them a little bit differently than I expected. I was gonna glue some yarn up here in a kind of a crisscross pattern. But I didn't like the way that looked. So I actually just put some felt here. I finished it off with this white pom-pom ribbon. I absolutely love it. And then just to tie it in, I did that along the inside of the O. I absolutely love the way that these turned out. Such a super simple, inexpensive, Valentine's Day DIY craft that you can do. A little bit time consuming, but you know what? Just grab a glass of wine, throw on your favorite show on Netflix that you can binge, and just keep wrapping. And I love the way this turned out. I'm gonna go place them on the mantle and finish off my mantelscape. Thank you so much for watching. If you like the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And we'd love for you to subscribe if you're not subscribed already. We post videos every week on tips, tricks, and hacks for your home life and adventure. We will see you next time. Bye. My mic just dropped. Where'd the tape go? The tape is gone. My boobs ate the tape.